Student loans are increasingly finding fewer justifications to invest in advanced education, as illustrated by 5 trends highlighted in recent reports. Trend number 1: lack of enhancement in critical thinking skills after graduation. The Wall Street Journal has highlighted alarming findings from the College Learning Assessment Plus (CLA Plus) test, which has been conducted in over 200 colleges throughout the U.S. According to their report, more than half of the participating institutions showed that at least 1/3 of the seniors were incapable of constructing a coherent argument, evaluating the credibility of evidence in a document, or analyzing data in a table. The most inferior outcomes were observed in large flagship institutions. Some top-tier flagship universities revealed that the average graduate did not demonstrate significant improvement in critical thinking during their 4-year course. The prevalent view on the elevated wages of college graduates attributes it to 2 principal mechanisms: the acquisition of new skills, or the mere possession of a degree as a signal to potential employers. However, the CLA Plus outcomes suggest that a substantial number of students are not acquiring valuable skills during their college education. This revelation is influencing the perceived value of academic qualifications in the professional environment. Companies are becoming increasingly skeptical about the correlation between academic accomplishments and job performance, especially when some graduates appear to lack the requisite skills for their roles. Google exemplifies this trend, prioritizing characteristics that are more indicative of job performance over academic qualifications when evaluating potential hires. Trend number 2: people seek approval, not tangible breakthroughs. Benjamin Franklin once remarked, quote, "If everyone is thinking alike, then no one is thinking." This statement resonates profoundly, especially in the context of my experiences where divergent views led to severed relationships. This divergence emanates from my unwillingness to compromise my beliefs to conform to the majority, prompting some to terminate their association with me. This has led me to the understanding that there is a natural inclination for individuals to be drawn to like-minded others. This is understandable given that humans inherently desire communal harmony and conformity, a trait deeply embedded in our DNA. The propensity to adapt our behavior according to societal norms is a survival mechanism, with our brains wired to signal alarm when we move against the collective and reward us with a sense of calm when we conform. Hence, the concept of mob mentality emerges, depicting the ease with which individuals adopt behaviors influenced by their peers. Studies by neurobiologists reveal that group amalgamation can lead to a diminished rational thought pattern, transitioning to a more primal state. Dr. Hannah Arendt's concept of the banality of evil argues that atrocities of Nazi Germany were predominantly due to the populace's uncritical conformity to mass opinion without reflecting on the consequential impacts of their actions. Neuroscientific research, such as the study by Klucherev et al. 2009, indicates that conformity triggers neural signals associated with reinforcement learning. The study demonstrated the exposure to the aggregate judgments of peers influenced participants' subsequent ratings, aligning more with the group consensus. Such neural adaptations underscore the immense influence of collective opinion, illustrating how discrepancy in individual and group perspectives can lead to an adjustment in behavior and alignment with the group's stance. Research from Leeds University found that a mere 5% of people can influence a crowd, with the remaining 95% following unwittingly. It paints a picture of a world obsessed with conformity, where echoes of similar voices reverberate and any deviation leads to a tumultuous uproar. This relentless pursuit of homogeneous thought, intensified by the ubiquitous presence of social media, is resulting in professional repercussions and global condemnations of those daring to diverge from the collective viewpoint. Trend number 3: shouting matches have invaded campuses across the country. It appears that the emphasis on cultivating critical thinking skills has been overshadowed by vociferous confrontations in several U.S. colleges, with Evergreen State College in Washington serving as a prime example. Here, student protests have not only commandeered classrooms, but have also taken control of administrative operations. The demonstrators occupied administrative offices in the preceding months, causing significant disruptions to academic activities. The situation has escalated to such an extent that the plummeting enrollment rates are jeopardizing governmental funding due to the diminishing student presence. The upheaval at Evergreen saw the emergence of anonymous threats of mass violence, leading to the temporary closure of the campus for 3 days. This raises questions about the motivations of some students. It provokes speculation on whether these acts of takeover, ostensibly under the banner of identity politics and subtle racism, are simply strategies to evade academic responsibilities and studies. Trend number 4, trade schools and independent learning, a preferable pathway for updated knowledge and training. Contrary to prevailing stereotypes, college dropouts are demonstrating substantial success, illustrating that a path divergent from traditional higher education can be equally, if not more, rewarding. A growing number of ambitious youths are bypassing colleges to directly embark on their entrepreneurial ventures. Additionally, there is an increasing preference for trade schools, distinguished by their shorter durations and lower tuition fees, which provide focused skills and industry-specific training. The specialized education enables trade school graduates to secure lucrative positions, often with higher wages compared to many possessing 4-year degrees. Notably, there has been a pronounced exodus of young men from colleges. In the last 10 years, about 30% of male freshmen abandoned their economic pursuits before reaching their second year. This trend, marked by the successful transition of college dropouts to professional success, raises concerns, yet also questions the inherent value and appeal of conventional higher education systems. Hunter Reed expressed concern over the phenomenon, emphasizing the need for supportive ecosystems to enable all students, especially young men, to flourish in higher education settings. The trajectory of individuals like Stark, who left formal education to pursue self-learning and achieve success as a software engineer and DJ, underscores the viability of alternate learning paths. Stark opted for self-study over a protected economic journey, seeking fulfillment beyond conventional professional success with large corporations. The narrative, however, juxtaposes concerns for young men's success in higher education with instances of successful dropouts, creating a paradoxical representation. It presents a cautionary stance advising young men against presuming assured success without formal degrees, while also acknowledging the gender wage gap and the relative success of male dropouts in high-risk industries. Observers point out the pervasive illusion among young men, who often perceive themselves as potential innovators like Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, believing in achieving substantial success without formal education. Reisman posited that this overconfidence often leads to a lack of purpose and eventual failure in college. He highlighted that despite the occasional successful dropout, establishing a successful startup without a degree is relatively rare, and the majority of high-paying positions are predominantly in high-risk sectors like oil, gas, or manufacturing. Trend number 5, tuition ascends while prospective earnings descend. A recent article from the Wall Street Journal elucidates the financial repercussions of prevailing educational trends, showcasing a disconcerting contrast between escalating tuition fees and diminishing future earnings for graduates. Although discrepancies exist across different colleges and majors, the predominant trend reveals a diminishing return on investment for 4-year degrees. As students embark on their professional journeys, the necessity to incur debt becomes inevitable to afford these costly degrees, which unfortunately do not assure enhanced earnings. The accumulation of student loans has reached a staggering $1.3 trillion and continues to rise. Distinctively, these loans lacking collateral are non-dischargeable even through bankruptcy, thereby magnifying the financial vulnerability of graduates in an already unstable economic landscape.